Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday, the 27th day of June, 2024. Hope you're safe and healthy today. Hope your family is safe and healthy today, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are trying to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help, rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, child pornography. People that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution. People that are victims of human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create these heinous dark industries. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, senior citizens, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So, last night was draft night. This has been a big week. We thought it was going to be a big week from last week when we said it, but it is a big week. And so during this week, the Knicks have re-signed OG Anunoby. They have traded for Mikal Bridges, and we have a team, a real shot at going to the championship this year. Matter of fact, anything less than ECF is going to be a disappointment because the Knicks are really that stacked, and when they're healthy, they're going to be really that good. So the Knicks are in a really good position. Last night, I remember in the beginning of this process, I did not think the Knicks needed any rookies, and I said that. But as the time goes on, I saw that they had worked out Ryan Dunn a couple of times, and he was from New York. So I thought maybe they'd take him. In fact, I was sure they would take him. They did not. The only team I thought that would have wanted Ryan Dunn more than the Knicks was the Phoenix Suns. And the reason I said that was because they have not been able to really replace the defense they lost on the wing when they traded Mikal Bridges. So it made sense when I saw Phoenix trade with Denver. Denver really, apparently, they were the ones that promised Deron Holmes the second to get drafted. So it made sense that Denver and Phoenix would trade places. Denver would get their guy and Phoenix would get their guy, and so that made sense. And I was completely surprised by the French guy that the Knicks took. He wasn't on the list of people that had been worked out, but he revealed later that he was worked out. I'm still hesitant to think he's going to stay long term. Obviously, he would be a draft and stash pick. He's only 18, going to be 19 in July. So he's obviously a draft and stash pick. And if the Knicks are keeping him, I trust their scouting to know that the boy will be able to play eventually because they did draft him in the first round. But I would not be surprised if today he was traded for a second round pick. I wouldn't be surprised. The Knicks have accumulated 6 second round picks last night. The Don is something else, including they have now number 38 and number 51 today. So I don't even know. They may trade this kid and get additional picks. I don't know, or move up in the second round. I still like of the guys that's left to be drafted. I still like the kid from San Francisco, Mogbo. I still like him, and I think that would be a good pick for the Knicks. They drafted Keyshawn George, but they didn't draft Keyshawn George for them. They drafted Keyshawn George for some other team. I'm not even sure who it was, but they're not keeping Keyshawn George, so he's not going to be part of the salary structure. The French kid I think his name is, he might be. But again, I'm still skeptical because it just came out of nowhere. The Don is stealth. This is the thing about chess. I am by no means a chess expert, but observing the game, it's boring. And it takes methodical, thoughtful, forward-looking planning. But it's boring to watch. And that's the Don. Boring to watch. But methodical, careful, forward-looking planning. is what he does. And it has built long-term sustainable winning. So all of the draft stash that they had, they used to get the most important piece. And people I've seen some idiots on the tomorrow. He's a role player. It's not whether he is a superstar or role player. That whole big three superstar stuff, I mean, people ain't caught up yet. It's played out. That ain't the game no more. It's about people fitting their roles and playing tremendous defense as a team to win a chip. That's what's in. And the Knicks were ahead of the curve on getting that Boston also. But the Knicks are really built. They've really built. Mikal Bridges is the championship piece, as I've been saying for a year. It ain't about whether he's a superstar. Now, anybody looking like that obviously don't know what they're talking about. They don't know basketball. He's a piece that causes this thing to go to a new level. Think about it like this. OG's only going to play 60 games. But you ain't missing no beats because you're going to have a guy that plays 80 games every year and can slip right in there at the 3. Mikal going to start at the 2. But you ain't going to have no problem putting him to the 3 and bringing Devo in at the 2. You ain't going to miss no beat. And I doubt Juju gets hurt again like he did last year for the whole year or half the year. So you ain't going to miss no beat. If we had Mikal Bridges this past season, they done went to the ECF. And then people keep talking about they need bench scoring. Another group of idiots that don't know. The Knicks ain't have no bench this year. Their bench players were starting for half the year. Hart is supposed to be a bench piece. He started. At the beginning of the season, Hartenstein was a bench piece. He started. Then you lose MitchRob for a long time. Then you lose Juju and you got to play Precious. So your bench was never really your bench last year. I think that's going to change this year, though. So, the money situation. They're under the first apron. Let's be plain. So let's get this out of the way. Hartenstein's gone. The moment Nic Claxton on a team that didn't make the playoffs, a team that's a lottery team, Nic Claxton gets 4 years, $100 million. Hartenstein is at least getting $100 million. That's at least I wouldn't, but that's at least he gonna get is $100 million. That's now his market. The Knicks can only pay him $72 million. Now, you're talking about $28 million. Would you leave? Talking about leaving on the table. Would you leave $28 million on the table? That's real leaving on the table. See, Brunson signed for 156, ain't leaving no money on the table. Because there's no guarantee he would go through next year without a catastrophic injury. And if he gets a catastrophic injury next year, he ain't getting no money, much less $200 million. So he taking the 156 that's in front of him today and guaranteed right now. That ain't leaving no money on the table. That's not people misconstrue what leaving money on the table. Hartenstein signing a $72 million contract where another team is offering him $1 million. That's leaving money on the table. He ain't going to do that. Okay? So either he's going to be a Magic or he's going to be Oklahoma City Thunder because they're the ones got the money. He's going to be one of them. I suspect it'll be the Magic because they got the money and they can use him. Wendell Carter Jr. or whatever. Wendell Carter is hurt all the time. Hartenstein's another 80-game player. So you bring him in there. He's a real roughneck. You put him in there. You got something. Okay, you got something. So he's gone. MitchRob stays. I'm not completely unhappy about that. I like MitchRob. And I love MitchRob. And I love MitchRob for the bench unit. So what are the Knicks going to do? Really, I got to thank some of y'all. I got to thank some of y'all. Because some of y'all come up with some really good suggestions. Some of y'all still in fantasy world. But some of y'all come up with some really good suggestions. And I can't always remember your name because I'm old. But Valanciunas. I thought I mixed up Steven Adams and Valanciunas. Steven Adams is the one that's hurt. Valanciunas plays 70, 80 games every year. I didn't realize that. That's our guy. I mean, if we're going to go outside the Knicks organization, number one, that's our guy. The Knicks right now have the full $12.8 million mid-level exception available to them. Especially, they're going to let Hartenstein walk. Okay? So that's the roughneck we need is Valanciunas. Okay, he is perfect for what we need. Okay, big, strong, rough, tough, and can play starter. And MitchRob can come in behind him. Guard the rim. This is what we need right here. So, yeah, he can't move that well, but that's all good. We got players that can move around him. That's all good. Okay. So I like that. I like Mo Wagner because if they sign, which I think they will, Isaiah Hartenstein, Carter's coming off the bench, which he should because he's always hurt. But that's going to leave Mo Wagner out. Now Mo Wagner there's a club option for $8 million on Mo Wagner. If they decline that option, he's available. Okay, and the Knicks got the money to pay him. Okay, he's another guy. I mean, smart, high IQ, tough dude. He used to play with the Lakers. I think he would work out too. But now, in terms of cost, now we strictly talking about cost right now. The Knicks could just play Sims. Sims has started before. And I think Sims, in all fairness, has earned his shot to start. He has played in Thibs' system. Like Deuce, he has bided his time. Now, he's a little older than Deuce, right? I think Sims going to be 26, something like that. But still, he's bided his time. He knows Thibs' system. He knows the defensive schemes. And he's always had to start in case of an injury. So he's been kind of thrust into starting instead of getting acclimated with the starting unit. I think in terms of cost, you're paying him $2 million. You could start him, bring MitchRob off the bench, let Sims go through a training camp with this starting five. And you could go from there. Now you ain't had to add anything. There you go. Done. And in fact, if they do that, they can use the mid-level exception and re-sign Precious Achiuwa, which gives you another option at the backup 5 and a backup 4. So the Knicks might already, in terms of cost, that's the best way to go. In terms of cost now. Some of y'all may not like it because it's boring, but it works. Okay? Now, in that, you got $2 million you're using on your starting center, who you already know, knows the team, knows the schemes, knows the coach. Coach trusts him. You got basically all-stars or high-level players. Let me put it that way. You got Jules an all-star. Jalen Brunson's an all-star. You got Mikal Bridges, a former All-NBA defender, and, of course, another former All-NBA defender in OG. That's a lockdown defense right there, okay? And with Sims as the role guy, and everybody knows him, he's a practice player. I think that financially makes the best sense, financially. Whether they'll do it or not, I don't know, but that makes the best sense financially. Just go with the guy you already got that knows your system and is already dirt cheap. You got that. Not only that, Sims working real hard. He always works hard. It ain't like he just started working hard. Jericho Sims always works hard. And so for Jericho Sims, this would be his chance to get his money, to get some money for him. So here, Hartenstein came in and made himself a fortune. Coming from a second unit, 2 years, $16 million, to now he's about to get at least $100 million. That's a lot of freaking money. So Jericho get his opportunity to make the most of his career and his financial situation. So I like the idea of just rolling with Jericho and seeing what we could do. If they were going to get, another guy, let's say Jericho they tried it and he just flopped. They still got the mid-level exception. There's still a bunch of centers out there. Like I said, you still got Valanciunas, you still got James Wiseman, you still got Mo Wagner. There's a whole bunch of people out there you could try. But I think you could do a whole lot worse than $2 million for Jericho Sims. So I'm not opposed to just holding on to Sims. And that, again, financially speaking, you under the apron. You under the first apron. Okay? You forget the second apron. You under the first apron in that scenario. So I like that. I think they could pull that off and keep Precious, and I think that will be effective. Precious has proven himself last year. He was out there busting his tail on both ends of the floor. Can he get better? And that's the beauty of it. He does have a lot of upside. I don't think the Knicks want to let go of him, especially now in a cost sensitive, put it that way, situation. I don't think they want to lose a 24-year-old that they can get under $10 million that knows how to play the game and that Thibs trusts. So I'm thinking keep Sims, keep Precious, make no moves, and go like that. Or you got your now. I hate to give the full mid-level to somebody because that's going to push us over and push us. I mean, we'd be close to the second apron. We probably wouldn't go over the second apron. In fact, I'm going to guarantee you something. This season right here, the Don ain't going over the second apron. Let me just put it that way. There's certain things I can tell you. The Don is not going over the second apron. He is not. So he just saved $3 million last night and got 6 second-round picks. That's going to take care of all of the obligations they have in terms of second-round pick to the Nets and keeps the Knicks in the draft. And I don't think they're finished yet. So we'll see how this works out. But I'm thinking the really 3 ways to go here. Valanciunas at a mid-level exception. Mo Wagner at a mid-level exception. Or you just stick with Sims and re-sign Precious and you are under the first apron and you still got a championship level squad. And now to me, Mitchell Robinson is going to be, in my opinion, at his best coming off the bench. People still calling him injury prone are not paying attention. If you are only playing, it's like Chet Holmgren. If you're only playing him 18 minutes a game, which is probably what he would get, 20 minutes a game, he's going to be there for the season. He ain't going to get hurt. Not only that, you don't think he understands he got something to prove about injury? How much did that cost him? He got a $60 million deal, but you know, Nic Claxton just got $100 million. You know the difference between the two of them? Claxton's available, okay, as a starter. You don't think MitchRob understands that? So if you play him in the second unit, and you have now as a second unit, you got MitchRob, Hart, Deuce, and Precious. And if you wanted to sign another guy, like I liked Caruso, and apparently the Knicks did too, but Oklahoma City was really aggressive in putting out Josh Giddey, which is one of the, a lottery pick for them, going to Chicago for the Anthony Ambulance School Lonzo Ball. He's not, he's still on the Bulls, but he ain't gonna play. So Giddey now is the starting point guard. And that's why we couldn't get Caruso. But the Knicks were interested in him. I don't know what they would do, but cost-wise, here's how the traditional Big Three game works. You get a Big Three. LeBron has done this many times. And then you fill out the rest of the roster with minimum contracts and vets that's looking for that ring, right? That's what traditionally they've been doing. But they don't have to do that now because you got, instead of just a Big Three, you got Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Juju. You got Big Four. Plus, you got dynamite on the bench if you're playing Deuce, Hart, and MitchRob. You got dynamite on the bench. And I'm thinking, I think they like Magbo. I'd be surprised if they didn't get him in the second round or try to. I like him. I still like Isaiah Hartenstein. I still like him. 51 is a good number for him at that pick. So let's see what happens. Guys like Daquan Jeffries are really practice players, and I'm not trying to demean that. That's very important. You got to have guys that could work you hard in practice. And he's earning his $2 million plus that he gets. So I don't know how the Knicks are going to handle that, but I don't know. It's not that easy to just toss a guy like Daquan Jeffries away because of his importance. He knows the system. He works out the players. He's a practice dude. And of course, he's on the roster. He can come in. And then there's Jacob, So I don't know what they're going to do with those guys, but Iguodala or a guy like him would be in that position also. But I do like this Magbo that they worked out twice. I do like him. So, and I like him for the second round. So let's see what they do today. This French kid, I have no idea where they where they got him from or what. I know he was in Germany. I mean, in terms of he came out of nowhere. I was not expecting that when I saw them draft him at 26. I was not expecting that. So I I have no idea what's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept him and stashed him over there, and I wouldn't be surprised if they traded him today to get a second round pick. I wouldn't be surprised either way. And then there's still Roku Jacobitis. We still got him. I don't even know what they're going to do with these guys. But the Knicks are stacked. They had a good week. They got a championship level team now. Everybody has time. It's still June. Everybody has time to get healthy and be ready for the season. And it looks like they're all doing that. The next couple of days, we'll probably lose Hartenstein. But I just want to see what they're going to do at that 5 spot. Like I said, to me, they may already have the answer on their own bench in Sims and Precious. They may already have the answer and a cheap answer too. So let's see how that works out. Or they're going to go outside and get a Valanciunas or go get a Mo Wagner. We'll see. But I expect Hartenstein really to be either Oklahoma City. I'm thinking Orlando, really. I'm thinking he's going to be on Orlando Magic because he fits there. I don't think they're going to move Chet Holmgren to the 4. I think he stays as a 5. They got the money to go get Hartenstein, but I'm thinking Orlando just fits. He starts right in front of Wendell Carter. He's available, and you got now a guy that's available after going through Wendell Carter, not available. Jonathan Isaac, not available. A lot of their guards, not available. You got a guy that's available, and you give him the money that Claxton just got. $100 million, he's there. Okay? And only competition is OKC. That's the only competition. If I'm Orlando, I go get Hartenstein right now. Okay? So I think he's out. MitchRob stays, anchors the second unit. Now we're talking about a starter at the 5 spot. I think Sims is the most cost-effective move, and it's not a bad move, but they could still go get, like I said, Mo Wagner, Valanciunas, and Wiseman. You still got Wiseman out there. Wiseman, they just renounced his contract. I don't know. That's not a good sign that they don't want him in Detroit. That's not a good sign. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They've obviously chosen Jalen Duren, but I don't know about them just renouncing him like that. But then again, it's Detroit. They paying the coach they just fired $65 million. Anyway, that's their problem. We'll see. So you still got Wiseman. You still got Valanciunas. You still got Mo Wagner. You got those 3. And then you got on your own bench Sims and Precious. I prefer just keep our guys that we got. That's the most economic way. And you ain't losing much in terms of performance. So I think we should just go with Sims. Let him get acclimated with the first unit. Let MitchRob get acclimated with the second unit. Sims is pretty durable, but we really don't know that either because he hardly played. But let's go with that and see what happens. That's my opinion. But we'll see. Y'all enjoy your Thursday. Today's the second round. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking at Mogbo. That's my boy. We'll see what happens. Shalom.